Hi, and welcome to the Azure News Recap for June 2024. We'll look into some retiring features, stuff that became into general availability, and also, of course, preview features. And then in the end, we'll have some other news. First, going for retiring features, Azure Support Plan has been discontinued starting June 30th, 2024. So, beginning of July 1st, all customers who do not already have a paid support plan will need to purchase a support plan if they wish to maintain technical support coverage. And then looking at people who have a Microsoft Customer Agreement or an MCA, you will be able to purchase support in the Azure portal. For people on an enterprise agreement, please contact your Microsoft representative or partner to determine which support plan to go for. Then next up on Azure AI Health Insights, the Onco-Phenotype model will be retired starting July 31st of this year, 2024. All other models within Azure AI Health Insights will remain available. Please take into account that the Onco-Phenotype model container image will also be removed and will cease to function. Going into general availability, first up, we see that Azure Load Test now enables us to run Azure Load Tests on Azure Functions, which means we can now create and run load tests directly from the Azure Functions portal experience. We can also now run Azure Load Tests in debug mode, which allows us to get even more insights into what is happening on our load testing. Next up on Azure Machine Learning, we have the secure AI deployment with Microsoft Entra ID and managed online endpoint. We have a guided experience for submitting training jobs, and there's now a create and manage prompt flow for compute sessions available. Moving into preview features, if we look at Azure Service Bus, this functionality has been highly requested. We now have Geo-Replication for Service Bus Premium, which allows all of your metadata and your data to be continuously replicated from your primary to your secondary region, which gives you a huge benefit as far as high availability goes, right? And then it also allows you to promoting a secondary region at any time, so you can manually fail over, so to speak. Please take into account that this feature is in preview, and if you want to run a service bus with Geo-Replication, please take into account that as of now, Taiwan North, Taiwan Northwest, Norway East, Italy North, Spain Central, and Central US EUAP are the regions where you need to run your Service Bus Premium to enable Geo-Replication. When this moves further and when it eventually goes GA, of course, all of these regions will be expanded to encompass all of the Azure regions that we have available. Then next up on Azure AI Model Inference API, which is a new service that's now in preview. It improves the performance in a specific downstream task. In the end, it's an API that exposes a common set of capabilities for foundational models. And it can be used by developers to consume predictions from a diverse set of models in a uniform and consistent way. Then there's this really cool new feature that we have for Azure Load Balancer, where it now no longer needs to be in the same subscription as the services that it needs to load balance, for instance. So we now have, for instance, a cross-subscription load balancer availability. And there are several types of ways we could actually use this, either with public IP addresses being in separate subscriptions, or your global load balancer being in its own subscription, and then moving over to different subscriptions for different regions, for instance. Then in other news, there's some changes around the reservations that we have for Azure. So initially, the reservation exchange was planned to be ending on January 2024. And then we got some extra time, so it was moved up to July 1st, 2024. For now, it is extended until further notice, which means we can continue exchanging reservations on Azure for compute. And more importantly, if this comes back, we will have a 6-month window of time which we will get the notice of upfront. So if they decide to bring this back, we will have at least 6 months time to prepare for this change. Next to that, the inter-availability zone data transfer. Azure will now no longer charge for data transfer across availability zones, regardless of if you're using either public or private IP addresses, which is nice. And then we've updated the channel name from Benelux CSA to go to EMEA CSA, because we also want to be able to send out this video to customers for all of our EMEA CSAs and not only the Benelux ones. So we're opening up our horizon, and it's also available for the entire EMEA Cloud Solution Architect group within our organization. Last but not least, we've always pointed towards the Azure Updates website, so azure.com/updates. You used to have the availability to filter, to search for things. You could even use an RSS feed to see all of the updates coming in your favorite RSS reader, or maybe even using that as an input for a Logic app or a function to determine if you want to read something or post something. Well, currently we're undergoing some maintenance, which means that the Azure Updates website now will have limited functionality. Last time I checked, we weren't able to search, and updates only came in once a week, which was, I think, on Thursday. So there is some limited functionality there now. We will fix that, or they will fix that as soon as possible. And in the meantime, you can continue to look at azure.com/updates for your updates. It just might give you a little bit of a limited experience. As always, all of our resources are grouped at aka.ms/ANR-2024-06 for the month of June, or you can go to azure.com/updates to find all of the items that we used to comprise this list. Thanks for now. Have a good time. We'll see you next time. Bye.